Shalom, this is Levi Shore. Welcome back to Swing Good Torah. We have an amazing episode of Swing Good Torah today. We're doing Pollyanna, Ish Gamzu in the happiness game. It's going to be amazing. Okay, so me and my wife recently, we started reading the book Pollyanna to our children, and we just loved it. It was written in 1913 by Eleanor H. Porter, and it has just an incredible lesson in there. And what's so amazing is, so Pollyanna, she's like the hero of the story. She's the main character. And her mom died when she was very young, and then unfortunately her father also passes away. But while she was being raised by her father, they received a missionary barrel. And she really wanted a new doll. But in the missionary barrel, which I think is like a form of tzedakah, is like kind of charity, she received a pair of crutches, and she was really upset. So her father taught her this glad game. And he taught her that you can be happy, like you can be glad because you may not have wanted the crutches, but you don't need crutches. You can run and jump and run all around and have fun, use your legs, so you don't need the crutches. You can be glad for that, even though you didn't get the doll. So she starts playing this glad game, and then after her father passes away, she goes to live with her Aunt Polly, who at first is just doing it from duty, like it's her sister's daughter, and she's going to raise her out of a sense of duty. But Pollyanna she transforms the whole town. She becomes friends with people in the town, and she starts improving everyone's life by playing this glad game. She teaches other people to look at what they can be thankful for, what they can be glad for. And it's just an incredible book that it shows how she transforms the whole town that she lives in. We can also do the same thing. So the Gemara in the Gemara in Tainus, or Tainit, if you're Sephardi, in 21a, page 21a, if you want to look it up, it talks about Nachum Ish Gamzu, and he was the Rebbe, he was the rabbi who taught Rabbi Akiva. So he lived a life of an incredible physical hardship. He had many, many health issues. Like the Gemara says that he was blind in both eyes, he was missing both hands, he was missing both legs, and he was covered with these painful boils. And then we see this one story, he's even in this dilapidated house that's about to fall down. So you would think anyone would rightly be miserable if they had all these hardships and sufferings. But the motto of his life and the essence of his life is, he said, Gamzu Litova. This is also for the good. So he saw that anything that happened in life, no matter how bad, was all coming from Hashem, and it was ultimately for the good. So then, in the Gemara in Brachos, and on page 60b, we see his student, Rebbe Akiva. Now, Rebbe Akiva changes the statement a little bit. He says, Kol di'aved rachamana litav aved. So everything God does, and he uses the term for Hashem here as the rachamana, the merciful one. Because Hashem is full of rachamim, he's full of compassion on us. So he says that everything that God does, it's for the good that he does it. So we see this interesting story. So Rebbe Akiva, he was traveling on the road, and he reaches a city. So he wanted like lodgings for the night. He wanted a hotel or a place to stay for the night, and they didn't give it to him. So he had to leave the town. He had to leave the city. So he said, Kol daved rachamana litav aved. That anything that Hashem does, for the good is while he's doing it. So during that night, he had a rooster and a donkey and a lamp. So first he has this lamp so he can have light in the darkness, and the first thing that happens is a wind comes and it blows out the lamp. So now he's in total darkness. And then a cat comes and eats his rooster. And then a lion comes and eats, the donkey. And a person, why is Hashem doing this? Why is he doing this to me? Why is he torturing me? Why I couldn't even stay in the inn at night, and I'm out here, in the field, and it's cold, and then now I lose my lamp, and I lose my cat. I lose my rooster, and I lose my donkey. Why is Hashem doing this? But the next day, he sees that an army had invaded the city, and that he would have been killed if he was sleeping in the city. And Hashem actually saved his life. So sometimes these things happen. We have these challenges. We have health issues. We have financial trouble. We're fighting with our husband or our wife. We're fighting for our family. We're fighting for our friends. We have all this turmoil in life, and we don't know why it's happening sometimes. But if we really take a step back and we're patient, we're going to see as it unfolds is all for the good. And sometimes these obstacles are for us to overcome them. They're always for us to overcome them. Hashem's giving us these challenges to elevate us, to spiritually show us, to open our eyes to something that we wouldn't have seen before. And here Rabbi Akiva sees that he would have been killed if not for these things happening to him, these tragedies happening to him. So Rav Noach Weinberg Tzal, who was the Rosh Hashiva of Esha Torah, he would always talk about the happiness game. And I'm going to paraphrase a little bit of what he was saying, but he was saying that no matter what is happening to us in life, we can always be happy and we can work on happiness. And he's saying that we have these certain kochos that Hashem has given us, and they're wondrous things. And even if we're suffering these horrible financial difficulties or painful, separations and relationships, or whatever is happening to us, or health or horrible health issues, we can always look at the good that we still have every day. So we can focus on the negative, focus on what we don't have, what we can't do, or we can start to focus on the good. And it's simple things. We can start to say, I have eyes that I can see, the wondrous gift of sight that I can use every day. I can look at these beautiful sunrises and sunsets. I can read. I can read books. I can learn the Torah. I can use my eyes to do so many amazing things. And I have hands. I have 2 hands. I can pick up. I can write things. I can create. I can paint. I can do all these amazing things with my hands. I have legs. I can walk around. I can run. I can jump. I can do all these tremendous things. And he's saying that we have ears that we can hear. We have a nose that we can smell beautiful fragrances. We have so many gifts every day that we're given, and life itself. Every day that we're alive, we start out each day, we say, Modeh ani lefanecha, melech chai v'kayam. I'm thankful before you, Hashem, that you gave me life today. You gave me life. Every day we wake up, we're given life anew. We're given a new day, a new gift of a day. And if we focus on all these positive things that we have every day, and we see the great family and friends that we do have, we see the loved ones that surround us, and if we focus on the positive, all this negative stuff starts to get pushed aside, and we become happier people. And that's the happiness game. And Rav Weinberg, he said, no one would give any amount of money to give away their eyes. If people came to you with $10 million and say, I want your eyes, you wouldn't do it. You want your eyes. You want your arms. You want your legs. And anything we have, we can be appreciative to. So there's a famous story at Aish. So this young man came into the yeshiva one time, and Rav Noach was trying to get him to stay in the yeshiva. And he's like, stay in yeshiva and we'll teach you how to be happy. And the young man says, I don't need to be happy. I already have a gift of happiness. And so what do you mean you have a gift of happiness? And he was explaining that when he was a young boy, I think he ran out in the street and he got hit by a car, and his legs were barely damaged. But when he was laying there in the hospital bed, it suddenly occurred to him that this is, it's a great tragedy. He was very sad and he was crying, and he thought all the things that he would never get to do again. But then it hit him. He had this gift of happiness. He realized that even if this is what it was going to be, and even if he'll never walk again, he could still be happy. There was still things he can do, and he realized that even with this great tragedy, he could be happy. And his parents came in and they were crying, and they couldn't believe that the poor loss that his son may be suffering, and that maybe their son would never walk again. And he said to his parents, he said, you're just going to have to get used to it. So that's the thing. Whatever happens to us in life, it's in our power to decide how we react to it, and we can choose to be happy about it. And the more and more we play this happiness game every day, and the more we're thankful for what Hashem's given us, it really creates happier lives for ourselves. And then it doesn't matter. Then everything doesn't have to be perfect every day for us to be happy. It can be rainy, we can be beset by difficulties, and we can still be happy, because it doesn't matter what's happening if we control the happiness. So I think we should all be a little Pollyannish, and we should all play the happiness game, and Gamzo L'Tova. Everything is for the good. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you back again soon on Sweet Good Torah.